Hi there, my name is Bruce Gregg and I am a commercial mediator, and this is number 3 in a series of videos aimed at mediation advocates, solicitors and barristers who are representing clients at mediation. And this video is about a simple change in perspective which might unlock the dispute. Most people, when they approach a dispute, their objective is to convince the other side of their point of view. So they list all the reasons why their case is strong, craft careful arguments to persuade the other side of why they should win this dispute. I'm going to suggest you consider an alternative approach, which is to make your primary objective, rather than your primary objective being to convince the other side of your point of view, make your primary objective to understand the other side's point of view. And you might find that unlocks routes to settlement which were not obvious before. So rather than listing all the reasons why your case is super rock solid, craft with your client, craft questions that will help you and your client understand the other side's point of view. Let me give you an example, a real life example that I dealt with recently, which was a fairly straightforward claim. Claimant is asking for 100 grand from the defendant, and defendant is saying, well, the claim is no good for these reasons. I don't know you anything, and in any case, I haven't got any money, so I can't afford to pay it. And it's pretty clear the defendant probably doesn't have any money, and so the prospects of recovery for claimant are very low. But the dispute continues, and claimant is saying they're going to take it to court. And when asked, why are you pursuing this claim, even though the prospects of recovery are very low, it becomes clear that actually the claimant doesn't want to have to write down the debt now. So at the moment on their balance sheet is this 100 grand claim. If they have to settle it today, they are going to have to write down, they can settle it for some lower amount or accept that it's worth zero. They're going to have to write that down in their accounts. And for internal reasons, they really don't want to do that. And that opens up a possible route to settlement, which is to have very long payment terms. So some relatively small amount, which defendant can pay, spread over a very long period of time, allows the claimant to maintain the claim on their balance sheet as worth whatever it is, even though in practice they probably understand that that it might eventually never be paid in full, but they avoid having to take a write down today. Now, there's an internal accounting question for the claimant as to if they don't actually believe it's going to be paid in full, they ought not to have it on their balance sheet at full value. But that's for them to decide internally. As far as resolving the dispute's concerned, now that D understands that claimant probably is going to pursue the case to court, even though prospects of recovery are low, because that just allows claimant to kick the can down the road a bit further and avoids the perhaps inevitable point where it becomes clear it's not worth 100 grand, it's worth 0 or 10 or something. So that's the change of perspective which you might want to consider going through with your client, rather than, or in addition to, thinking of lots of reasons why your claim is super rock solid and you're going to prevail. Think of questions which will help your client understand the other side's point of view, and that might open up routes to settlement which were not obvious before.